Hello, guys. Have you ever thought how you could analyze a coffee shop to try to understand what makes them different, what their unique selling proposition is, and what makes them be a good business? Today, I wanted to show you step-by-step guide how you can do this because after posting our inspiration video in our community, I've basically realized that it was falling a little bit short on everything that you can do to understand how coffee shops work better just by visiting them. So, follow us in the journey, join us in the free community, and looking forward to see you there. So, what we'll be doing today, I will basically guide you through a template that I have prepared to you so that you can understand and analyze coffee shops out there and try to understand what their unique selling propositions are and their whole offering. All of this to create a list that we call the must, should, and could haves, where you can summarize everything that you really need for your coffee shop. And then finally, you will basically put everything in your business case, but we will show that in the next couple of videos. So, before we start, for the guys that don't know who am I and don't know the coffee shop Launchpad, I have opened one of the most successful coffee shops in Vienna, the Karl Ludwig Cafe, and now I help people open their own coffee shop without making any expensive mistakes. And I do this through the coffee shop Launchpad, where I guide people through the idea, the planning, the building, and the running of opening their own coffee shop in order to make successful projects together with you. So this is a very quick summary. Follow us and yeah, join us in the YouTube channel or in the community so that you can be integrated in all of the learnings that we have for you if you're in any aspect of this coffee shop journey. Good. So now we can jump back into the topic. The idea, as we said, of today would be to start in the coffee shop analysis, and for that, I will guide you directly in the template. So imagine you want to really understand how a coffee shop works. In the last video, I explained how you need to go out there, visit your top favorite 5, 6, 7, 10 coffee shops, and basically step by step try to understand what they're doing, how they're doing it, the people that they have within, the flows that they have, the machines, and so on and so forward. But as I mentioned, I thought that that video was a little bit short, and I wanted to do something a little bit more specific so that you could really understand the coffee shops out there. So, one of the first things that I really recommend, as I mentioned, is to go out there, select 5 to 10 coffee shops, and then just basically go there and try to understand as much as possible. Try to look them with different eyes and try to look at them as if you would be the owner. So the first thing that I would like to do, or that you to do in each one of these coffee shops, is of course fill the top where you fill the shop, the date, and the observer. That will be very important, and then directly jump into the floor plan and time traffic flow. So to try to make a sketch of how the actual coffee shop looks like, where the people go in, how do they flow to the bar, how many steps do they take, if they need to take additional steps to go to the tables, if it's really organized, if they could be a flow, yeah, things like that, that you everything that you can include in a sketch so that you can understand the complete flow of the whole coffee shop. The second point that I wanted you to take a look at would be the machinery and tech stack. So what are every gadget that they're actually using? And you can make a complete list here, right? You don't need to take all of the lines, or you can take all of them and you can make them double. There are so many machines currently in coffee shops that you could go crazy just making the complete list, right? So the idea is really that you could every item that you can see and analyze, what kind of brand they have, what kind of model they have, if it's enough, if it's too little, if it's too big, and so on and so forth. So go one item by one. Additionally, the third point to really understand what's going on in these coffee shops is also to understand the workflow behind the bar. So, the second sketch that I want you to do is draw the bar and how everything is located. Where do you have the coffee machine? Where do you have the milk? Where do you have the most served drinks? How far are they from each other? How far is the place where they're charging you? Where do you need to pay with your card? So really try to understand where everything is located, and of course thinking if that would make sense, right? So what would be the average service time if you can measure it? What would be the staff coordination if it's really professional, reactive, if they bump to each other, and if there is something that additional that you might note in the flow. right? That's super, super interesting and really trying to perceive this coffee shop as an owner. Additionally, write also all of the most important items of the menu and their pricing so that you also understand, okay, where are they at? How are they pricing them? And this will be very interesting in the future when you also want to compare all of them or compare the coffee shops with each other. Additionally, I always recommend also to do the sensory experience where you rate the acoustics, the olfactory, the comfort, and the cleanliness of a location, so that you understand what also your customers or the people that are visiting actually look at, right? We got quite some complaints about the acoustics of our place, and we sadly never solved it. But if you see the reviews, many of the most important points were also going in this direction. So you see that have people that are very focused on the acoustics, people that are very focused on the olfactory, people that are very focused on all of them. But this may cause discomfort, and this will be a rating of your coffee shop in the future. So try to look a little bit more into detail. What small things make you comfortable? What you like the most? What really small things make you uncomfortable? The seating, the space, the coloring, and so on and so forth. Finally, one of the hardest questions that many owners and future owners get to ask is this unique selling proposition. What do you think is their core competitive edge? Is it a coffee shop that you decided to visit because it's doing very well? Is it because it's new and it's trendy? Is it because they sell something different or they do the things in a different way that makes it a much more interesting business? So this aspect will also become key. And then in the end, you can also give one grade to all of them, right? I mentioned the idea is that you visit coffee shops and that you come in with one pair of eyes and get out with a completely different one. So, how does this coffee shop look like if you would be a professional? All of this material will become very, very important and crucial for the next steps when you are putting your vision together and try to understand what elements are key. How do you envision your concept and how do you bring it to reality, right? Because all of these pieces basically start coming all together until you get something that it's actually real. So I will jump to the next template. Now, imagine you have gone to 10 different coffee shops and you would have the previous template filled with all of the information that you got. It's a lot, right? A lot of machineries, a lot of setups, a lot of different structures. But all of those hint you a little bit to what is already working and what is not already working. And this is exactly what I want you to do in this next step. The idea is very simple, is to take all of this analysis that you have done previously, take a closer look again, and then just start putting the information together on the elements that you believe are absolutely key. Right? So this template is basically called the must-haves, the should-haves, and the could-haves. The must-haves are non-negotiables. Without this, the shop doesn't work or it don't deliver as its core promise. So, if you would be starting your own coffee shop and you already understand a little bit of what would be your unique selling proposition, there must be a couple of things that are core for you and that are must haves. These items that you can gather and you have also seen in the other coffee shops, you can put them in this list together, right? Of course, I only put five, and this is only an example. You will be able to make more rows in this document that I will also upload as a Word template so that you can fill it correctly, right? And yes, the idea is that you have a very clear definition of what is a must have, what is a should have, which are the high value additions, important, but the shop works without them, and what is a could have, something that adds value in the future, but it's of a lower priority. So as you see, it's a very, very simple exercise that you can do together. Going to coffee shops, gather all of these templates, print it and fill it 10 times around, understand what is key, and then for your specific concept and your specific shop, define what is really key to have. What are the must haves, should haves, and basically could haves. And finally, the idea is that you put all of this together, as we mentioned, in the business case that you will find basically in the next couple of videos, and I will guide you step by step. But with these first two steps, you understand what is key for other coffee shops, what you understand what is key for you and your concept, and you understand how to put everything in your business case so that it makes sense, that it you put all of the pieces together, and that you understand where are the expenses that for you are incredibly important. Good. So I'll try to keep it short. Of course, you will be able to find all of these free templates within the community and beside below this video. So if you're watching this in YouTube, feel free also to join our channel, subscribe, or join the community. And yeah, looking forward to see how your coffee shop journey continues and to support you in any stage of the way. Are you ready to build something real?